Right, good afternoon ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Thai Talk with Dan. Now, as promised, I've started emailing lots of subscribers that have sent me in past stories to try and get an update on what's going on in their lives now. So if you're currently watching this and you've sent me a story in over a year plus ago, it would be great if you could send another email into the channel and let us know what's going on with your life right now. Today, I'm going to share a story. It's not a crash and burn story, but it's a guy that's kind of accepted the way things are, understanding that certain women are poor in Thailand, they've got certain responsibilities where they need to take care of family, etc., and they do need a monthly income in order to be with a man. So, without further delay, let's jump in to today's Thailand story and see what we can learn from it.
Shit, here we go again.
Hello Dan, I've been watching your videos for quite a while now, and a lot of what you talk about really lines up with what I've experienced myself. I've been living in Thailand for some time, and over that period, I've started to build my own understanding of how things really work here, both the good and the not so good. Now, I didn't come here completely blind. A close friend of mine has been living here longer than I have, and before I arrived, we had a lot of conversations. Even now, we still compare experiences quite often. What's interesting is that we've completely different personalities, and that really shows in how we live our lives here. He is more of a free spirit. He's older than me, recently divorced, and fully embracing what he sees as the freedom Thailand offers. He goes out regularly, enjoys drinking, spending time with freelancers, and doesn't really think too much about the long term. For him, life is about enjoyment in the moment. His monthly spending is relatively low considering his lifestyle, maybe somewhere around 15,000 to 20,000 baht. But he keeps things simple and doesn't get emotionally involved. Now I'm the opposite. I don't function like that at all. The reason I ended up in Thailand is partly because of him, but if I'm honest, it's mostly because I needed to complete a reset in my life. Before coming here, I went through a very difficult period. I had just come out of a long-term relationship that ended badly. It wasn't just the emotional side, but also the financial side that hit me hard.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Now, before that relationship, I had already been through another long marriage that didn't end well either. Looking back, I spent a large part of my adult life investing in other people, both emotionally and financially, without really building anything for myself. I was always the one supporting, helping, fixing problems, and trying to create stability for others. So at some point, you realise that you've been living for everyone else and not for yourself. That's where my mindset started to change. When I first arrived in Thailand, everything felt intense. New environment, new culture, different energy. It didn't take long before I met someone and got into a short relationship. At the time, I thought I was being careful. We had clear agreements, including financial support, and in the beginning, it felt balanced. We spent time together, travelled within the country, and had genuinely good moments. I won't pretend it was all negative, because it wasn't. There were fun experiences, and for a while, it felt like things were working. But over time, patterns started to show. Small things at first, then bigger ones, more focus on money, more expectations, and eventually unnecessary drama. Jealousy started to appear, and situations were being created that didn't feel natural. That's when I realised something important. It wasn't about connection anymore. It was about control and financial security. And for me, that was a turning point. At this stage in my life, I don't want stress. I don't want drama. I've had enough of that. I ended the relationship in a respectful way. I made sure there were no hard feelings, and I moved on. For me, peace of mind is more valuable than anything else. Around that same time, something else in my life stayed consistent. Because of an old injury from many years ago, I need regular physical therapy, especially massage, to manage the pain. So I had a routine. I would go to the same place regularly, and over time, I always had the same therapist. At first, it was purely practical, just part of my routine, and I didn't think anything beyond that. But after my previous relationship ended, I started noticing things differently. I noticed her. She was quiet, very respectful, and didn't try to attract attention. No pressure, no games, no obvious agenda. Just consistent, calm behaviour, and over time, we started having small conversations. Nothing serious at first, just simple exchanges. But those small conversations slowly became longer ones. I learned that she had her own past experiences, including a relationship that ended badly. After that, she had chosen to stay single and focus completely on work. For years, she had been working consistently without taking breaks, supporting her family financially. There was no sense of entitlement, no expectation, just responsibility, and that really stood out to me. We didn't rush anything. There was no sudden emotional jump, no pressure from either side. It developed slowly, naturally, and because of that, it felt different from anything I had experienced before. And eventually, the topic came up about the future.
Tale as old as time.
Not in a dramatic way, just a practical conversation. She explained her situation clearly. If she stopped working, she would lose her income, and at that same time, she still had responsibility for her family. That's when the topic of support came in. Now, she didn't demand anything. She explained her reality and asked what would be possible. I told her to be honest about what she would need to feel secure.
Oh, hell no!
After thinking about it, she came back with a number that would allow her to stop working and still support her family. We agreed on it. But what I respected most was what came next. She suggested a trial period, not for me, but for both of us. A way to see if we were actually compatible living together without making any rushed decisions. That told me a lot about her mindset. After that period, things felt right. She left her job and we started living together. And sometime later, we made another decision to move. I wanted a quieter environment, less chaos, less noise, more balance. A place where life feels slower and more natural. And she was hesitant at first, which is understandable. Moving to a different place, leaving what you know behind, that's not easy. But she trusted the decision and it turned out to be the right one. Since then, our life has been stable. No major conflicts, no unnecessary drama. We communicate well and we respect each other, and we enjoy simple things. That might sound basic, but for me, it's something I didn't have before. Now, one thing that stayed with me was a conversation we had later. I asked her why she'd chosen the amount that she did when we first discussed support money. Her answer was simple, but very real. There is no safety net. No work means no income. No income means no stability. And without stability, life becomes very difficult very quickly. That's something many people from Western countries don't fully understand, because we grew up with systems that protect us. Here it's different. And once you understand that, your perspective changes. I've also made practical decisions about the future. I've arranged things in a way that the person I'm with long term is taken care of if something happens to me. That is not about romance, that's responsibility. Looking back, my experience here has taught me that nothing is as simple as people make out it to be. Not all relationships are the same. Not all intentions are the same. There are good people and bad people everywhere, and the key difference is understanding the situation you're stepping into. For me, the biggest change has been internal. I stopped trying to fix everything. I stopped living for others, and I started focusing on building a life that actually feels peaceful. And that's something I didn't have before. Dan, I would prefer to stay anonymous. Right, let us know what you think about this story down in the comments below. Do you agree with paying support money in order to be with someone? Do you have this guy's same viewpoints? Everybody perceives things very differently. You know my stance on it. Most of you know my stance on it, but I do understand it. When I've spoke to expats and they've explained to me the reasoning behind paying these women to be with them, I can't really argue with them. I don't agree with it, but it's like, okay, fair enough. When I'm much older, or if I get to my 60s, 70s, and I'm struggling to get a connection with a female, I'm struggling for a female to be with me, etc., then yeah, God knows what I'm going to do. So yeah, I'm not going to criticize people. I just always state that I just personally wouldn't do it, but each to their own. At the end of the day, everybody's striving for happiness or striving for peace. This guy had been through the mill. It sounds like he'd had a lot of bad relationships and he'd lost a lot of money. Yeah. And then he's come over to Thailand, which is normally the worst place you want to go to after that's happened to you, because it can happen again quite easily. But he's done that, and at the moment, he seems happy. So let us know what you think down below. Also, guys, I'm going to be speaking about certain different topics on this channel. If there's a certain topic that you're really interested in talking about, then please let me know down in the comments below, and I'll make a note of it, and I'm going to come up with some comments and I'm going to make some videos and we'll discuss them. Also, if you've got your own Thailand story, it can be an adventurous story. It can be about the place where you're living, how you're living. Are you living in a rural part in Isan? Are you living in a rural part way up north? You know, a remote village? Or are you living in a high-so area, an upper-class area within Thailand? Whatever it is, if you think you've got an interesting Thailand story, get it sent in to the channel. We're not just going to keep focusing on crash and burn stories on this channel. We need to diversify the content. I've spoke about it in the last 2 videos that I've made, and I really mean it, guys. Also, if you haven't subscribed to my other channel and you want to get educated about the systems of Thailand, what's really going on behind the scenes. It is an educational channel. It is about Thailand culture, etc. It might be boring for you, but if there is certain things you want to learn, please head over to Thai Talk with Dan Unleashed to find out. Apart from that, guys, take it easy, look after yourselves, and oh, don't forget to get your emails sent in, thaitalkwithdan@gmail.com. I'll stick it up on the screen, and I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, and ciao for now. Bye-bye.